This might be the most dangerous race of the year. Not because of the layout, not because of the weather, but because what happens this weekend will live in every driver's head until the end of August. No redemption, no media resets, no new upgrades to hide behind. Just 4 weeks of silence, and for Hamilton, Piastri, Antonelli, Colapinto, this isn't just about points, it's about survival. Let's break down 5 battles that could redefine this F1 season. Oscar Piastri just won at Spa, and make no mistake, it wasn't luck. It was clinical, controlled, a champion's win. Now, he leads the title fight by 16 points over Lando Norris. But Hungary changes everything, because if Piastri wins again, he builds a 23-point gap. That's a psychological dagger before the summer break. But if Norris hits back, he cuts it to 9. Suddenly the narrative flips, and Piastri's back under pressure. This is more than a win. It's about who walks into August as the alpha at McLaren. And don't forget, this is the track where Piastri took his first F1 win. History, pressure, ego, everything's on the table. Lewis Hamilton is still without a podium in a Ferrari. His worst ever start to a season. 13 races, 0 top 3s. But in Belgium, we saw something shift. He spun in sprint quali, lost a lap to track limits in Q1. But when the race came, he came alive. From pit lane to P7, overtakes in the wet. Perfect strategy call. Pure Hamilton. And now he's talking about rear suspension upgrades, about meetings with Elkann, Vigna, Vasseur, about engineering documents he personally wrote. This man isn't just trying to fix the car, he's trying to fix Ferrari. Hungary will show if that fire is finally catching, because Leclerc is already on the podium. If Hamilton doesn't follow soon, that match he struck on August 8th might turn into a Molotov. Kimi Antonelli, the kid Mercedes bet their future on, and right now, he's spiraling. Double Q1 exits in Belgium, P16 in the race, fastest lap, but 0 points. Meanwhile, George Russell is quietly rebuilding his reputation. Antonelli says his confidence is low, and let's be honest, it shows. But there were signs. He liked the higher downforce wing. He felt more comfortable in the car. He just didn't have the straight line speed to show it. Now comes Hungary. 3 full practice sessions. No sprint chaos. A proper reset. If he nails qualifying, he's back in the conversation. But if he crashes out again, don't be surprised if Toto starts making phone calls. Let's talk Franco Colapinto, because Flavio Briatore isn't a patient man. Colapinto replaced Jack Doohan mid-season. Neither have scored points. Gasly has all 20 of Alpine's points, and the team is sinking. Hungary might be Colapinto's last chance to prove he belongs. The car isn't great, but Spa showed there's potential. Gasly finished P10. Colapinto? Nowhere. The Argentine has podiumed twice here in junior formulas. He knows this track. He likes this track. But another anonymous race? And that second Alpine seat will not be his after the break. Last year, the Hungarian GP felt like a throwback. This year, it's stepping into the future. A brand new pit building. A massive new grandstand. More tech. More visibility. More money. The track layout's the same. Tight, twisty, brutal on tires. But the infrastructure, modern, impressive, loud. It's a statement. Hungary isn't just a traditional race, it's now a centerpiece. And that means pressure, sponsors, VIPs, eyes on every move. If you're a team boss trying to lock funding, you want a highlight reel this weekend. Hungary isn't just a race, it's a checkpoint. It's the line between momentum and regret, between confidence and crisis, between leading a title fight and chasing shadows into September. McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes, Alpine. They all walk into the Hungaroring with something to prove. but only a few will walk out with control of the narrative. The rest, they'll have 4 weeks to sit in silence and wonder where it all went wrong. After 2 chaotic weekends at Silverstone and Spa, F1 rolls into Hungary. But the question is, will Budapest bring calm or just more chaos? Because this weather forecast, it might just decide who wins round 14. And if you're expecting sunshine and peace, think again. Friday looks like the lull. Clear skies, 28 degrees, perfect conditions for teams to test setups and tire wear. But don't let that fool you. Because just like in Spa, what starts sunny doesn't always stay that way. Saturday is where the nerves begin. It starts harmless, blue skies, a light breeze. But by noon, the clouds gather. Rain becomes a possibility, not a threat, yet, but enough to throw every qualifying simulation into the bin. A 20% chance doesn't sound like much, until you remember what 20% looked like at Silverstone. And then comes Sunday, race day, a 60% chance of rain overnight. A gray, brooding sky, and a track that could go from dry to soaked in minutes. We've seen this before, and it never ends well for the unprepared. Let's be brutally honest. If the rain hits, this isn't McLaren's race anymore. Yes, Piastri won here last year. Yes, Norris is fast here. But McLaren's current car thrives in stability, not unpredictability. And if the track starts wet and dries mid-race, that screams Mercedes chaos. That screams Hamilton. Because no one plays the tire strategy roulette better than him. And if it's bone dry, then Ferrari's tire degradation comes back to haunt them. Again, this isn't just about grip and lap times, it's psychological. You're a driver on Sunday morning. You wake up. It rained all night. The track's damp. The clouds are heavy. You're on the grid, but your engineer says, "We're not sure what the weather will do." That messes with your head. That kills confidence. That breaks routines. And in F1, routine is religion. Here's what no one's admitting. This forecast favors experience. It favors patience. It favors the driver who doesn't panic when the weather shifts mid-race. You know who doesn't panic? Lewis Hamilton? Fernando Alonso? You know who might? Oscar Piastri. Even Lando Norris, under pressure to finally deliver a win. This is more than just clouds and temperature. This is a mental race, before a single wheel turns. And what makes this weekend even trickier? The deception. Because if you only look at temperatures, you'd think it's just another hot Hungarian race. 28 degrees Celsius, light winds. Seems fine. But those slight rain chances, they create doubt. And doubt is a silent killer in Formula One. The driver who trusts the wrong radar? Gone. The team that delays a pit stop by 1 lap? Game over. This could be a repeat of Spa, a wet, dry thriller, where pit stops decide the podium, not outright pace. It could also be like Hockenheim 2019. Remember that? A dry track, 1 corner, sudden rain, and then chaos. 1 mistake, 1 call, 1 hero, 1 villain. That's what this forecast is teasing. Hungary might look tame on paper, but this weekend, it's a trap disguised as a sunbeam. And if you think strategy won't be the main character again, you haven't been paying attention. This is Formula One, where the weather isn't just a factor. Sometimes it's the final boss. And right now, everyone's guessing who gets hit first.
The tires for the Hungarian Grand Prix have just been confirmed. And let me tell you right now, this isn't just another tire allocation. This could flip the entire race upside down. Because Pirelli just gave us the softest combination possible. And on this track, that's asking for trouble. We're getting C3 hards, C4 mediums, and C5 softs. Translation? Grip will be king, but consistency, an endangered species. This is 1 step softer than Spa, 2 steps softer than what we saw in Belgium's hards. And yes, this is the same compound combo from Austria. But Hungary isn't Austria. It's tighter, hotter, more brutal on tires, and it doesn't let up. Let's talk thermal degradation, because Budapest doesn't just heat up, it cooks. Last year's race saw track temperatures hit 58.6 degrees Celsius, highest of the entire season. That's not heat, that's a slow roasting oven. And when tires overheat here, they don't scream, they vanish. 1 minute you're flying, next minute, no rear grip, no traction, no chance. The soft tire, C5, is a trap. Sure, it's great for qualifying, but if you push too hard on your flying lap, it's dead before you hit the final corner. And in the race, unless you're nursing it like it's made of glass, you're boxed in after 6 or 7 laps. Everyone talks about rain, downforce, track position, but this tire choice, this is where the chaos starts. Remember last year? Everyone scrambled for two-stop strategies, C3 to C4, C4 to C3. Some tried softs, panicked, and bailed. This year, same compounds, but with even hotter conditions and a faster grid. Good luck planning anything. Any team that locks itself into a fixed strategy this weekend is going to look like amateurs by lap 30. Each driver gets 2 sets of hards, white 3 sets of mediums, yellow, 8 sets of softs, red. 8 softs, that's Pirelli practically begging for chaos in qualifying. Push, push, and pray they hold. But if quali turns wet, those softs become meaningless. And now you've only got 2 sets of hards for the entire weekend. Let that sink in. The Hungaroring is notorious for track evolution. Friday FP1, slippery as hell, graining everywhere. You think your setup sucks? But the asphalt just hasn't woken up yet. By Saturday, it's a different track entirely, and that means data from day 1 can lie to you. If your car looks fast on Friday, don't get too comfortable, because Sunday will test tire life in ways your simulator can't replicate. Let's cut the nonsense. If this race stays dry, Red Bull's tire management could put them back in contention. They've struggled, yes, but Max knows how to save a set better than anyone. If it gets chaotic, Lewis Hamilton becomes lethal. He lives for these degrading tire wars. Short stints, bold calls, sudden switches. That's his world. And McLaren, if they don't absolutely nail their tire pressures and outlaps, they'll burn through their advantage in 10 laps or less. Pirelli said the C6 would have been too extreme. But maybe that's the point. Maybe we need extreme, because this allocation, it's just soft enough to tempt teams into mistakes and just fragile enough to punish them for it. That's where races are lost. That's where underdogs rise. That's where you see who's thinking 30 laps ahead and who's just reacting. This isn't tire strategy. This is chess with rubber, and not everyone on this grid knows how to play.